Welcome to Beyond the Margins, Inside the Mind Shaping Modern Finance. I'm your host, Sharice Arneson, and today we have a very special guest, Chris Mahan of Mahan Healthcare Business Advisors. Chris has been helping practices navigate finance, tax, HR, payroll, and operational strategies for over 25 years. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sharice. Glad to be with you.
Absolutely. I'm thrilled to have you here. Before we jump into the nuts and bolts of healthcare finance, I want to give our listeners a peek into your journey, how you got to this point. Can you share a little bit about your personal journey and what inspired you to become part of Mahan Healthcare and focus on helping healthcare practices thrive?
Sure, absolutely. My brother, Garland Mahan Jr., founded Mahan and Associates 1990. He's a few years older than me, so he was about 10 years in about 2001, 2002, I was in college and I decided to come work here just to get some resume builder business experience while I was in college bartending and just trying to get ready to go out and take on the world. And so I started literally on the front desk answering phones and shredding paper and ordering supplies, really started in the mailroom for lack of better words, and worked my way up. I had the opportunity. We're a multi-service firm that provides professional services to healthcare practices, medical, dental, optometry, chiropractic, anything in the healthcare space and all verticals in between. We provide support for all of their business systems. So by starting on the ground up, I had the opportunity to start on and work on bank reconciliations and payroll and accounts payable and pension and tax and accounting and financials and consulting and financial planning. And I had a unique opportunity to really start from the ground up and get experience in each one of those disciplines to really see how we tie them all together as a firm and how we offer an ultimate value proposition for today's healthcare practitioner for their practice and their personal financial objectives and goals.
That's wonderful. So you've experienced every aspect of the business. And now, what is your current role in the business?
Well, I'm the senior partner at the firm. I was the young guy. Now I'm the old guy. But that being said, so now myself and my partner Amy George, we run the business. I meet with clients all over the country, serve them in many different forms and fashions in terms of their total business operations and business applications, as well as their personal tax strategy and personal financial strategy.
So are you traveling a lot then across the country, or what is your day
I
to day
am,
look
I
like?
am, I am a lot more than I used to. I didn't as much, and then after COVID, everything went remote with via Teams and Zoom and all the different meeting modalities that they have. And I found that everybody's kind of getting back to in person. So I'm finding tremendous value of getting out and meeting my clients across the country. And it's really, really nice. I've really made an emphasis in the past, 12, 18 months to get back in front of them and sit down with them at least once a year, if not twice, face to face, no matter how far away they are, because it's just invaluable communication and fellowship.
Absolutely. Do you find that you've been able to grow the service offerings that you offer your clients by meeting them more face to face?
Absolutely. I think that in the face-to-face meetings, you pick up on a lot of nonverbal communication and ways that you can open up, more of a fluid conversation. You do great in a virtual modality, but face-to-face, I feel like I sit down, we have more time to really dial in, get to know what's going on, and then identify solutions that may be something that their practice or their personal lives are looking for, whether that's budgeting, retirement planning, their HR bonus plans for their practice staff, benefit reviews, et cetera. So, yeah, every time I meet with somebody in person, I feel like I come away with identifying mutually more things that we can do to help them assist them along the journey.
It's wonderful. So, what would you say is an aspect of your business that excites you the most?
That's a great question. It's kind of tricky because we work in so many different verticals and they all truly do complement each other, right? People will say, ah, man, I've got a payroll company that does that. But if we do the payroll, I can incorporate certain tax strategies, financial planning strategies, saving strategies that we can put on autopilot. And my clients don't even feel it hitting their practice bank accounts. And they're really setting themselves up for immense success so I can get to do that without impeding on their day-to-day administration. And if we can help put a lot of things on autopilot for them to help their success journey and then tie it up with great financial statements, help them increase the practice production at their healthcare practice, help them maximize the profitability at their practice. My goal is to help create a tax problem for all my clients. I tell every client, I hope you have to write $1 million quarterly estimated payments. And they look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, because that means you're making a lot of money, number one. And number two, my goal is if you're writing that $1 million quarterly estimated payment check, that is materially lower than it would be if we were not doing the tax strategies. So really trying to compress that effective tax bracket and rate. And then if we do that, they get to save a ton of tax dollars and invest in their retirement plans and their financial planning and their real estate portfolios, in their legacy planning, their trust, what they want to do with their great grandkids and their great great grandkids. So the biggest success that I can really echo is it's really all come full circle. And I'm seeing a lot of clients, even starting off when they're coming out of, medical school, dental school, starting the plan now, even if they're going to go work a residency, if they're going to go work an associateship, if they're just going to buy a practice or get into a practice, the sooner they start the plan, the sooner everything starts to take life.
Absolutely. You had mentioned about helping new students that have come to you. So is that one aspect of your business where kind of pre-planning for them when they know long term that they want to start a practice?
Absolutely. Yes, that's a great question. We have the opportunity to speak at different colleges, medical and dental schools. And I love that opportunity to get in and say, hey guys, I know that you have a ton of student loan debt. I know that you're going out into the wilderness and you know what you want to be. I give them a free consultation. I'm like, call me and come to my office. I'll give you an hour or two to sit down and go through where you want to go, right? And I always bring out the old Stephen Covey 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Begin with the end in mind. And the sooner that you begin with an end in mind, the sooner we can start developing the trigger points and the cornerstones to hit to make that plan a reality much more rapidly.
I love that. Absolutely. Reaching the next generation and, prepping them to be able to provide them services long term is an excellent business strategy. From your perspective, what trends are currently shaping healthcare finance and practice management?
Technology for sure, right? Technology in healthcare, in practice advisory in terms of knowing what the technologies are that are out there for their practices to help them potentially incorporate into their practice day-to-day operations, seeing what's working with their peers and saying, hey, you may think about going and getting this laser because it'll help you add these ancillary services, or you may want to expand on our ancillary providers, whether that's your hygienist or your nurse practitioners. They could probably expand on this service with this new technology that's out there, or there might be a more efficient way to run revenue cycle or your billing and collections policies that are as much more user friendly to your end customer slash the patient. So, a lot of technology is helping us identify ways to help top line grow our practices in addition to help them maximize profitability. So technology is one of the things. And of course, there's always, private equity and venture capital that comes into the healthcare space, and it's been coming in and out of medical for the past 50 years, right? And dental has a lot of it coming in. Vision, opto had a lot of it coming through, but there's always a place for everybody. So the thing I love about the healthcare industry specifically is that doctors, I find, are a lot more entrepreneurial at heart than a lot of other, industries out there. These guys come in, the doctors, and they are, man, I think they want to control and manifest their own destiny. And there are options. And I think that with these solutions, with technology, they have an opportunity to come out and really do what they want to do, whether that's private practice, which is great. And there's a whole lane for that. That's where I specialize. But I've got a lot of clients that aren't in private practice, per se in their own practice, but they're employees of a hospital system or a much bigger group. But hey, we still plan and do a lot of the same functions because regardless of where they're deriving their revenue stream, we can help them really realize their goals and objectives long term.
It's exciting. What would you say are some pain points that you commonly see among your clients? Where do you see the biggest growth potential for practices?
Think that the biggest pain point for clients really is knowing when to let go, right? Also, you know, most physicians, dentists, chiropractors, optometrists, they like to be in control and they like to have their finger on the pulse of a lot of things. So I think the pain point is if they let a partner come in and run the administrative processes on their behalf with their directions, but I mean, saying, hey, take care of payroll, take care of the payables and the CFO solutions. Just report to me. They're calling the decisions on everything, but they get to open up a lot of their time and resources to do things that they love to do, whether that's spend time with family or play golf or do more CE or go to conferences and learn the next cool clinical thing they can add to their toolbox.
Absolutely. Being able to maximize what you do best is always the key to success in business. Chris, what growth or efficiency strategies have worked particularly well for Mahan or your clients recently?
The efficiency strategies recently would be it's always tax. We just had the big, beautiful bill pass that changed the whole tax landscape for the next 5 years. And so that changes the whole strategy right there. So, clients that are proactive and the clients that have advisors that are proactive and saying, the tax game just changed for the foreseeable future. Here's how we take advantage year by year to recognize your financial objectives. Because it's not just saying, I want to pay the lowest amount of taxes I can pay this year. It's looking at this year and the next 3 and 5 year plan in conjunction with the laws as they stand. So, passage of major bills is always an opportunity to really help our clients realize their objectives. And then with practice growth, finding really good marketing companies and holding those said marketing partners accountable. I think a lot of doctors in the healthcare industry are willing and do spend a lot of money on marketing, but they don't have set performance criteria that they measure their marketing partners by. So I always welcome that conversation. We measure that for all of our clients on their marketing return on investment, their cost per acquisition of patients, because we're really helping them find our goal is to help our doctors find their customized, built suite of advisors, whether it's Mahan on one side, whoever the marketing companies they utilize on another side, whatever banks they utilize on a side, to make sure that our doctors are the CEO. They're the chief executive officers of their organization, but they have a world class board of directors at their disposal that's reporting and firing on all cylinders in a synergistic manner on their behalf of their success.
With the rise of AI and automation tools, then, are there areas of your business where you're exploring technology to improve efficiency or insights for your clients?
Absolutely. Yeah, AI has changed the game materially already, and for our clients' operations and for Mahan's operations. Mahan's operations are we're not manually entering financial transactions and coding them like we used to do when I started, right? A lot of automation between the softwares are starting to become streamlined in terms of data from the financial software to the accounting software, then also in conjunction with the financial planning software. So it's becoming a much more streamlined, efficient process. And then just by us as we cultivate, or prepare our clients with operating agreements or income splitting formularies for their partnership agreements or things of that nature, we can draft a whole business plan in about it was crazy. I did one the other day in about 2 hours that would have taken me probably 3 days 5 years ago. And I'm talking from brand development to mission statement, vision statements, core value, the whole kit and caboodle, projection, revenue projections, the whole nine. And so that's how AI is helping us deliver better quality to our clients as well. So looking forward to how that continues to develop because it's here to stay and it's just started and it's already materially been a game changer. In terms of my clients' utilization, there's AI that, certain of our practices will send their radiographs, their x-rays, their scans, and it'll send it automatically up to an AI generated reader that is constantly reading radiographs and those types of uh, functions and giving them objective, hey, this is what I see, doc, ding, 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 ding. That does not override the doc. It's a supplement to help the doc, which I think is something that could be very useful and beneficial. Medical side of healthcare, it's just becoming astoundingly interesting and amazing how it's changing. And I really think it's going to really change big time the quality of care and efficiency in the healthcare system. That's the big question of the day is how's healthcare going to be affordable? I think that AI may be one of the ways to make it much more efficient, which I hope would translate into affordability as well for everybody.
That's so exciting. Looking 6 to 12 months out, where do you want Mahan Healthcare to be? What were the key goals you're focusing on?
Yeah, right now, my key goals are, I want to make sure that I can reach any doctor in the United States that has a practice or doesn't have a practice that wants a comprehensive tax and financial and business plan. Many times, doctors will have an independent practice consultant, they'll have an independent tax preparer, and they'll have an independent financial advisor. And it really impedes their overarching success quotient by not having those affiliated, right? So my goal is to be able to deliver and further develop our model, but to deliver that where it's a coordinated model, because I don't think you can do personal financial planning without business financial planning that's totally integrated in that personal financial plan. And if your financial planner doesn't know your EBITDA or your profit margin or how your P&L looks, then how are they advising you on the most rapid path to achieving your goals, right? If your financial planner and your third party administrator of your 401k aren't communicating, your financial planner may not know that you're dropping, $80,000 a year in a 401k plan that has a 60/40 stock bond split because you're more conservative in 401k that allows them to be more aggressive in your individual investment opportunities because it's part of an aggregate portfolio that they may not even know about, right? And utilizing tax strategies to maximize retirement vehicles, to maximize their discretionary cash flow to invest in their wealth accumulation is huge as well. In addition, with our payroll and HR complements, putting together tax efficient benefit packages to offer their practices employees the very best employment package that no one else can compare against helps our practices do the most important thing, I think, almost in realizing all of these goals is that they have the best team in their office that they enjoy working with, that shows up every day, that does a great job, and that are well compensated with a great benefit plan. And I think that if you do it that way, if your staff win, you win. And if you win, then that's the name of the game.
Absolutely, yes. If you could solve one major challenge in your business, what would that be?
One major challenge with Mahan would be, of course, incorporating and harnessing AI as it's coming through and make sure we have the right technology partners for the next 20 years. And as those seats at the table are constantly shifting, making sure we have the right technology partners and also the right human resources team on our side, right? We've worked very strategically to ensure that we give financial, accounting, payroll, pension, business services professionals here at Mahan an opportunity to really have a good employment experience. And now we did go back, everybody was remote workers after COVID, and we had actually been set up to do that previously before COVID. Tornado hit Nashville about 3 weeks before COVID hit in March of 20. We were already deployed to go home, and we had our apparatus set up, which really helped us. But I also found that I like the interpersonal relationships. I like to make sure that we can all spend time in the office, building those relationships and working together. But we haven't mandated everybody come back full time. So we offer to our staff, basically 3 days a week in office, 2 days at home. So they're at home more days a week than they're not. And trying to give that good work life balance as a competitive advantage. But identifying the demands of the new employment force the demands of the new employment force, it's because their priorities and have changed. It's not about just a paycheck anymore, right? It's about an aggregate benefit apparatus. It's about work life integration. It's about flexibility, professionalism, accountability. So that's something that's always a moving marker that we always try to make sure we hit.
What would be one a piece of technology in your business that you can't live without?
I mean, I'm going to tell you my computer. That's a real softball answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's multiple pieces of technology. I guess the one that we couldn't live without would absolutely probably be our tax planning softwares that we partner with. And we're not just partnering with one, we have like three different apparatuses that we can glean the best pieces. And then we kind of put it all together because it really buttons it all up. And I think that that's probably the whipped cream on top. It's not the cherry. The cherry's taking the whipped cream and making those tax savings work in terms of wealth accumulation. So once I can get more money that they would have otherwise paid in taxes into their wealth model, that's when we have the cherry on top, right?
What is one lesson that you've learned in your journey throughout the 26 years you've been in the business that you would like to share with our listeners?
Have faith, stay positive, and have fun. Everything will be okay. I heard a quote last weekend that I'm starting to incorporate. If you don't quit, you never lose.
True.
And again, and I think, there's a lot of challenges in being in any business on your own. Number one, being
Mhm.
in financial services, especially with AI coming in, has everybody kind of looking around going, what's going to happen next with this industry? But I think that history proves that industries don't get, they're not extinct, they modify, right? They modify what we do, how we do. So I take it all on, head on, enjoy it, have fun at what you do. And because you'll blink and then you'll go from being the guy on the front desk to the guy that's on the back desk.
And as long as you learn a lot along that way and enjoy it, then it's all worthwhile. Yes. For our listeners who want to connect with you or learn more about how Mahan Healthcare could serve them, what's the best ways to reach out to you?
Sure, sure. They could go to our site, which is mahan.biz. They could also search us on any social network, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. And they can reach out to us via email. They can reach out to me directly via email at chris.mahan@mahan.biz. And I'd love to have a conversation with anybody. We have a lot of people here ready to help a lot of people. So just trying to share the love.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. And Chris, thank you so much for joining us today. For our listeners, please remember to like, subscribe, and follow Beyond the Margins for more insights from leaders shaping modern finance. Chris, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharice. I've enjoyed it very much.